Can I ask a question on the choices?
Yep.
I guess it's not choices, it's actually decisions. The decisions, it look like that it's either and or, and there isn't advanced conditions. So in your mortgage example, if you were going to do one process for if they lived in Massachusetts and another if they lived in New York, another if they lived in Connecticut, that would effectively be 3 decisions, and you're saying if the first one is no, for instance, you do Massachusetts first. If it's no, then go to Connecticut, no, then go to New York, no, etc.
That's correct. The decisions are, yeah, they're sort of binary like that. It's either all ands or all ors. We are changing that though, so that's obviously safe harbor. We're changing the decision so it can support a switch style thing. So you can kind of say if it's Connecticut, go down, so you actually, rather than having yes or no, you have a branch that said Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York.
Right. Okay.
But that's not till the web designer, and it may be even a little bit after that. So it's end of this year, beginning of next year.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I want to address a question that came over chat, which is that about whether or not we're recording the call. Yes, we are recording the call, including the questions, and so I will send out a link to that recording shortly after the call is over.
Yeah.
So we're at a little after 2. We can stay a few more minutes if you still have questions, but I want to be conscious of everyone's time.
One quick question. I haven't seen the example. I'm assuming it's there. Just want to check of be able to update or create a record in Salesforce.
Sorry, do you have a question about it, or you want to see something?
No, the question was, number one, can you, based on some decision, can you create a record within any object in Salesforce? The second question is updating an existing record in Salesforce.
Yes, to both of those. You can update existing records, you can delete records, and you can do the create, update, and delete basically. And you can do that based on decisions and logic. So you use this element here, which is the data update element. It's really but absolutely. So you can set all sorts of operations that occur as a result of decisions and logic as to whether you update or insert or delete or in which object. It may be that based on the rules you update.
Thank you.
Steve, I have a quick question. Can you connect to different data sources at the same time? So, for example, in your scenario of a quote, if you needed to get a value from an external system, not in Salesforce, something like an index of risk for the zip code in order to calculate the actual mortgage quote, could you do that, or does it have to go all the connections through a class?
Yeah, it has to. I mean, basically, you can use data from other systems only through the sort of Apex plugin style approach. So you can kind of like call out. So Apex, you can call it to your data source, get the data, and bring it back, and then stick it in the output values, and then the author could consume them that way. But all these data operations, like the choice up and the data update and the data lookup, that sort of stuff, they all only work against Salesforce, only against the objects in Salesforce. So that's what you mean. So effectively, yeah. We used to be able to connect to more than just Salesforce, but that's the limit.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, why don't we take one more question if we have it, and then feel free if you have more questions that we didn't get to just respond to the email invite and send the questions, and we will send out an FAQ in the next couple of days.
Thank you.
So will you be automatically enabling our orgs with Flow, or do we have to take any steps to make that happen?
So it's currently basically an add-on feature. So effectively, so as of Spring 11, it'll be in Developer Edition automatically. So you can just use it in Developer Edition. But it's only available to EE and Enterprise Edition and Unlimited Edition customers. And it's basically an add-on that has to actually be provisioned. So it won't come on automatically. Be turned on as a request. through your account executive. But for you guys who are in the pilot, effectively it'll just be, you'll move on to the production version automatically. If that answers your question.
So when spring release comes out, we'll get it automatically for those on the pilot?
Yes.
Now, Steve, really quick, would that be also on the sandboxes of the members participating in the pilot, or just the primary org, the production org?
It'll be in the sandboxes. It should be in your sandboxes now. The production version, if I'm understanding. But it should, if you've got it in your production org, it should appear in your sandboxes as well.
Thank you.
So I'm not a sandbox expert.
Okay, well, thanks, everyone. We really appreciate your time. I hope this was helpful. And do feel free to either chat more questions or send more questions via email, and we'll try to answer all those and send it out to the entire list as a sort of FAQ.
One last question. I'm sorry. For feedback as part of the flow and part of participating in the pilot, how do we provide feedback to you guys?
So actually, we can give you guys. I'm struggling if you have our emails and stuff. I mean, for the pilot and stuff, I mean, feel free to reach out directly to us. It's when it goes live, we're kind of going to try to encourage people to go through the standard support process. But while we're kind of going through this transition, I'm very happy to answer questions directly from you guys.
Thank you.
If you don't have my email address, it's swood or swood @salesforce.com.
Steve, can you tell us quickly what's different between 6 and 7 of the Flow developer?
We've made some minor changes just to improve the, just to make it more consistent with Salesforce and more consistent with the web designer going forward. And we've done a bit more testing and debugging on it. So it's generally, I would encourage you to install that. There aren't any major differences between the two, but there are some slight variations in the font and some of the the screens that you'll see, but it's ostensibly the same.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks very much, everyone.
Thanks, guys.